Hi, and welcome to Z Games. Recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios in Brisbane and broadcast nationally over the Community Radio Network, Z Games brings you the latest gaming news, reviews and interviews from across Australia and around the world.
Coming at you live from 4ZZZ Studios. You might be listening to us on 102.1 FM or Z Digital in Brisbane or around the country on the Community Radio Network. This is Z Games. And it's going to be a really good show. And I haven't been on the show for a while, so I'm rusty. Hi, I'm Cringy.
Welcome back.
Hi, Adrian. How you going?
Yeah, going great.
Hey, Ray. How you going?
I'm good, thanks.
Evie, how long has it been since you were last here?
Like 2 months. It's been so long. I missed you.
It's been a very long time. I'm happy that you're back.
Yeah, me too.
You've all come back from a staycation.
Yeah, something like that.
And we also have Scott Beebe from Brisbane Byte. How you going, man?
I'm good. How you guys going?
Doing all right. Tell us a little bit about Brisbane Byte very, very quickly. Just a little bit of a sneak peek before later.
It's a magazine in Brisbane that tries to cover all the events and games that are being made every single month.
And there's so many of them.
There are a lot.
So we'll get into that a little bit later. Chatting to Scott about the whole Brisbane Byte situation, because it is an entire situation.
Did you introduce Adrian?
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
hey, Adrian.
Oh, okay.
I perked up first, right?
Just checking.
Pay attention.
Definitely.
I should
Come
really
on.
pay attention to this show.
We got a lot coming up this show. Also, just going to quickly just toot my own horn. That intro, you might not recognize. It's not the regular Z Games intro. That was from the Lucio voice actor, Johnny Cruz, and we're going to have an interview with him in the coming weeks. Might not be next week, much to Ray's dismay, but all that's a little bit later. Right now, gaming news headlines.
The CEO of NBN Co has blamed gamers for the congestion of wireless broadband servers during a parliamentary hearing in Sydney this week. Bill Morrow remarked that super users who were consuming terabytes made it necessary for the company to investigate a fair use policy that would throttle data usage for users who put an extreme burden on the network. When asked who these users were, Morrow said that it was predominantly gamers. Under subsequent questioning, he later admitted that he lacked the data to confirm that claim. Oh, those gamers and their internet sucking games. How dare they?
So I think ABC Science was one of the outlets to post like some of the math, I guess, as far as average hourly bandwidth usage goes. If you're playing online games like PUBG, Fortnite, CSGO, Destiny 2, like that ranges anywhere from sort of about 40 megabytes an hour to 300 megabytes an hour. That is in comparison to stuff like Netflix or Stan or Foxtel Go, which ranges from anywhere between 300, which is the high end of games, up to about 7,000. That is 7 gig in an hour.
Hit him with the facts.
Fact check.
Fact check.
NBN, get your facts straight.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing that the guy who's in charge of it doesn't really know who's using the internet. Because, yeah, okay, gamers, we do require high bandwidth. You know, we want to be, we need a quick connection to play the games.
We don't need high bandwidth. Like, the stress that we're putting on the network, like, we're not relatively stressing the network compared to stuff like streaming video. I think gaming is a really interesting perspective to sort of take on, in that we test how reliable, how stable a connection is.
Yeah.
Because if we have crap ping, if we have like dropouts, that majorly affects our ability to engage with that kind of content. It doesn't quite affect quite as negatively stuff like streaming video.
Obviously, you know, video games have become infamous for their numerous amounts of patches and other things, and downloadable games becoming more popular now means that there's obviously more data there. But yeah, you know, people playing games online, there's not that much.
There's so much. Usage. I think that there's so many more people that actually hog the networks in terms of Netflix, because you're binging series and a lot of what television is now, which is binge-worthy stuff, and you binge stuff. So. And if you're talking about, what was it, 7 gig in an hour?
7 gig in an hour for
that's
Netflix.
Insane.
And Netflix will keep playing shows up till like what, 5? Like how many unwatched?
After you're asleep,
yeah,
it's playing.
Like
you wake up and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah. If you ask me who the power users are, it's not old mate on his PC playing Overwatch. It's
mum watching Netflix.
It's mum watching, West Wing in 4K on the brand new 4K TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4K, it requires a lot of data.
4K everything.
Yeah.
On Xbox One X. Shout out to like Xbox One X games that take like 100 gig to download.
Shout out to 4K.
The thing is, like, you look at that and you're like, that's a little bit disappointing. Bill Morrow has had history in this space. Like, it's not just like, let's just get a business executive in. Like, he was chief executive for Vodafone UK, for Vodafone Japan, coming to the NBN Co. Like, it just seems like a bit of a cop-out. I don't even know. Whatever, it's fine. I'm not bitter. I have a lot more things that I could say, but probably not on air.
Shut down all the video games.
Honestly, get rid of them. The publisher of popular online shooter Fortnite is being sued by the makers of PUBG, the other popular online shooter. There are only 2 popular online shooters. The lawsuit filed in South Korea alleges that Epic Games copied intellectual property to create Fortnite Battle Royale, namely the weapon designs and user interface. Both games feature a similar premise. 100 players are dropped onto an island to battle to the death, with only one player or team able to claim victory. The makers of PUBG have previously filed litigation against other Battle Royale-style games appearing on mobile, as well as an injunction against Epic Games earlier in the year.
The only 2 online shooters, huh?
There are only 2 online shooters.
May as
apparently.
well be, hey? Because, like, this is kind of, you know, considering the current video game climate, Battle Royale has become kind of infamous for just being massive. So they may as well be the only 2. And it's kind of fun watching, you know, Godzilla and King Kong just fight it out, but in video game form.
Yeah.
These gargantuan properties that have come out of nowhere.
I feel like we're conflating PUBG. Like, is PUBG really rotting all of the minds of all the children across the entire world?
No, it's Fortnite.
It's Fortnite.
Fortnite fears. I
Yeah.
remember that was a headline that I saw on
Yeah.
I think,
ACA.
Yeah, ACA or something.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Sucking up all the data.
It is.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the
Sucking up
innocence
all
of the youth.
Sucking up all the headspace, honestly.
Yeah, you know, they should just shut Netflix down.
I feel like that's... Where
that
did,
a
sorry.
controversial-
Where did this come from?
Is that a controversial statement?
We were making jokes about PUBG and Fortnite. You're like, you know what? Netflix? Who
Because
needs...
he's
I'm
playing
like,
back
what?
to the last news
can't
story
say that,
where
but you're right.
Netflix is the real issue. All right, Netflix is the hidden antagonist that no one expects.
But here's the thing: you see article after article. Fortnite is corrupting our children. Fortnite's stealing the bandwidth. Fortnite's ruining the internet. Hello, Mr. Netflix.
it's Peppa Pig on Netflix that's corrupting the
Netflix
kids.
is making the internet like a freaking tortoise for everybody. But no one, there's no articles about Netflix. Let's shut it down.
Oh, there's gonna be a
Let's
riot
boycott not Netflix.
Yeah. Well, like
Everyone loves Netflix.
like a tortoise. Why don't we withdraw into the next story?
Jesus.
A keyring has led to the theme of the next Assassin's Creed being leaked online. A French video game site showed the image of a keyring with a Spartan helmet design. Inside a package with a logo for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Hours after the leak, Ubisoft confirmed the title of the game as well as the setting, Ancient Greece.
Look, it's not the Persia setting that I've been praying for so long. I want to bring back Prince of Persia so bad.
Zeus, man,
Are
Zeus.
they ever going to come back to that, though?
Well, I mean, the problem was the last one was launched in 2008, and that was the Light Seed situation. You're playing as this perfect prince, and you've got this like it's really just like 2 or 3 characters in that game, and it didn't appeal to like the core gamer. And if you try and think back to 2008, as hard as it is, it was very much like you have casual games over here on like web or whatever, and then you have like very much like hardcore gamer games over here, and Prince of Persia just didn't really fit into either of those.
Because you couldn't die in that game. Well, it was very hard to die.
Every
time you fell off.
pretty much couldn't die. Yeah, you'd
Yeah.
constantly be saved by Elika,
Yeah.
and I'm like, just give me another good-looking prince. But also, ancient Greece. Yeah,
I'm enjoying the memes that have come out of the fact that this game comes no less than a year after Mario Odyssey.
first thing that I did, I see it, and I just immediately message my mate, and just like, yep, cool, it's original.
Assassin's Creed is coming to the Mario universe next.
Super
maybe.
Assassin's Mario Odyssey.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? I think a whole bunch of other franchises should jump aboard the Odyssey bandwagon now.
It's a good name.
Fortnite Odyssey.
You know what? Red Dead Redemption 2.
Netflix
scrap
Odyssey.
it.
Red Dead Odyssey. What'd you say?
Netflix Odyssey.
Oh, no.
Do you find it interesting, though, that this one comes a year after the last one, when they specifically took a year off?
I think that was... Well, I mean, the year off was... They did Unity, and then they did Syndicate. And I think...
Then there was a 2-year break, wasn't there? Yeah.
Because instead of the 1-year break, because Syndicate was already like halfway down the pipe by the time Unity came out, and we were like, wow, this sucks. Right? Like that was pretty like across the board. Like Unity's kind of bad.
I skipped that one.
From a technical perspective at the very least. Also, like, why are all of the French characters British accent? It's fine. And then Syndicate came out because they were already halfway through development. It's like, cool, we probably should wrap up on this before maybe letting the market sort of like adjust and like let the want for a new Assassin's Creed come back.
Right.
Then they came back after Syndicate with Origins last year, I believe was how that went.
And it was pretty good.
And it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you reviews?
Lee reviewed it, but he gave a glowing one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
He said it sort of reinvigorated the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Which kind of is what you'd hope for after 2 years off air, right?
Yeah, but now it's been reinvigorated. We can go back to the formula. The new reinvigorated formula.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Pump them out every year. Why not?
Was it just reinvigorated though because of the setting, or was it the time off? People are used to Assassin's Creed every 2 years. I'll come back to it.
Well, what was Lee's overall like? Was the gameplay? Was the
skeleton?
This story
was it different? The skeleton, because the AC games have followed that same skeleton.
Oh yeah,
that's how they're sustained as a yearly release.
Did he actually feel like it brought new things to the Assassin's Creed kind of structure?
It's Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to mistake.
But yeah, there were some aspects of the game that he thought were new. Some good things came back from previous iterations. I mean, I'd have to go back and listen to his review. It was a while ago.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But I think that after clearly hitting a high with Origins, it kind of makes sense because obviously they'd know ahead of time. Okay, we're clearly doing something good. We know that this is going to be a product that's going to hit a roughly this to this on Metacritic or whatever. We're expecting this much sales levels. It makes sense if they are confident in their product to then follow that up to capitalize on that.
Also, ancient Greece is just a hella cool setting. So
it's not Persia. Where's my Prince of Persia?
Stop it.
No,
Stop
ancient Greece. Man, I think you're sucking the wind
this
out
is
of this.
Sparta.
With Greece, you've got all the gods.
God of War leaves ancient Greece, and now Assassin's Creed is like, we're going back.
Maybe there's going to be some of that. Maybe you'll find yourself, a sexy Zeus. Don't be upset, Jack.
I wouldn't mind a sexy Zeus.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, think about it.
It'll be shockingly
think
good.
About it.
I'm pretty into it.
There was 300. You got to be
Aphrodite,
happy
I'm
with
into that.
Got a what?
You got to love 300.
300.
I love this is Sparta references. I love
so
memes.
many abs.
Yeah.
So many abs.
I love Jared Butler.
I just need more abs. Quantity.
I'm looking forward to the political intrigue that they might instill into this game. I'm thinking like an assassination mission where you have to kill Julius Caesar, or maybe you have to thwart the assassination.
Is that history?
Huh?
I don't know anything about
Zeus will be Zeus will be the leader of the
Greece.
Illuminati.
You guys are talking about Zeus, and you're questioning my historical
I'm
knowledge. Caesar was
I'm gonna
assassinated.
question-
Everyone knows that.
Oh no, your historical knowledge I'll question, but
Yeah.
as far as history in general, I'm not a
Okay.
history boy.
All right, let's wrap this up.
I'm excited.
I want Prince of Persia back
I'm sorry.
and more abs. Cool, great. You're listening to Zed Games, and we got a guest in studio. Hey Scott,
Hey,
how you going?
I'm very well.
So we spoke a little bit to Brisbane Byte. It is a magazine.
It is.
It focuses on Brisbane
Correct.
video game
Yes.
stuff.
These are all true things.
Yes.
Tick, tick, tick.
Outside of the Brisbane part, video game magazines have existed previously.
Yes.
I speak about them like as if they don't exist at all anymore. There are some,
They are harder to find.
but they have been less and less over time.
Yes.
Why did you make one?
Partly for that reason. One of the first bits of feedback I got was it's weird to have a thing that I can actually touch. It's a really niche thing, but to be able to pick it up and flick through something instead of swiping on a screen was something that the readers really liked.
How does that change how you make stories happen in an editorial sense, I guess? Does that affect if you had a blog versus Brisbane Byte? What is the difference there in how you work?
Well, when working to print specifically, there's a lot more cutting of larger words to make a certain line look correct. Things like that, like really tiny things you don't even think of. But mainly it's just chopping and changing small bits just to fit the page or, whatever. Like in a blog, you can just sort of spit out whatever and you're done. You edit it and that's about it. But there's an additional step when doing print.
Flashback to the early days of Zed Games when we used to blog. What a vibe.
Blogging is a vibe. So, with something like this that's not Is this distributed at all online as well? Do you copy what you do in the physical magazine and pop it online?
Well, so far, the entire project is just run by me. And so it's only on social media, and word of mouth has gotten it around.
Okay.
I'm used to saying we to sound professional. I am hoping to start a website shortly. We're working on some business deals in the background.
Ooh.
Yes. And then I'll be reposting everything from the magazine on the website, having interactive calendar of events, all that sort of thing.
But to clarify, like, you might not necessarily have like a website in the traditional sense, I guess, but you can consume the magazine digitally.
Yes, that is correct. Yes, it is emailed out. We have a readership. You can subscribe online through our social media channels, specifically Facebook.
And that is facebook.com/Brisbane Byte.
Yes, we are at Brisbane Byte on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
BYTE.
Correct. And we.
Wait. You wear that many hats.
Yes, that is true.
You may as well be multiple people.
I'd love it if anyone interested in gaming in Brisbane would subscribe to the magazine, because there's lots of interesting things coming up.
And also, you can pop around to a bunch of different venues in Brisbane and pick up the magazine, correct?
That is correct. We are at a bunch of locations. Netherworld, if you go to university in Brisbane, chances are you'll see it in the library. Just cafes and
Rep Cafe de Soit.
Cafe de Soit once upon a time.
Yeah.
He is working on a new project.
I didn't know they're gone.
Project de Soit.
Project de Soit.
Cafe de Soit went under for a little bit.
Rip.
That's because that's where like we kind of caught wind of each other at a certain point. I
believe that's
right. It was like, ooh, who's this person who has a magazine? I guess a little bit of context. Cafe de Soit is it was a cafe attached at the hip to like a car tint place.
Yeah.
What was the suburb? I always forget the suburb.
In Albion.
Escobar. Escobar. Yes. So he had started this business and it spun off, and they used to have ridiculous retro gaming markets out there. They still do, except it's kind of run out of a house somewhere on the north side. I can't remember that suburb either. As far as so you're distributing it to all of these places.
Yeah.
Do you get feedback from people sort of like on the spot? Do you kind of speak to people who like you're sort of dropping stuff off, or when you're like, how do you get that back and forth outside of social media? Is it all through social media?
Majority of the readers is through social media. Talking to business owners, that all happens when I drop off the magazine and just catch up on what's the latest, if they got any new, card games coming out, all that sort of thing. I know up on the north side, I can't remember the name, Connexio. They're really good about stocking local games. Curious Humans was a really interesting card game that came out, a bit like Cards Against Humanity, but more personal, believe it or not. By dropping by these places, I can get the latest news from these guys, and it helps improve the magazine going forward.
I have to say, like, looking at the back of the magazine that we've got here in the studio, I really like the fact that it kind of acts as a local brochure for, all things kind of geek or fandom when it comes to games or pop culture. And I think that's really, really fun, the fact that I can pop down to a place, and I have done so, like Netherworld. And if you're not from Brisbane, definitely come down and check it out. It's an awesome bar. And then, have a look at what else is available and what events are happening at other bars and other venues across the city.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's really neat, because you're kind of getting some information in. It's a pretty bite-sized magazine, which I think lends itself to like consuming it and being keen for what's more.
Yeah, and our online edition of the magazine is normally longer than the print version. Print version is sort of being treated as just the morsel to get you in, and then you go online and you subscribe and you get the online version, which is typically bigger, has extended articles, all that sort of thing. But yeah. You
all snickered when I said bite-sized, by the way. That was not a pun intended at all.
But it was a good one anyway.
Thanks. I'm doing my best even when I'm not trying.
Scott, so Brisbane Byte is, of course, featuring all Brisbane-based gaming content. Can you walk us through what you might find in the typical issue?
Well, when you talk about gaming, that's a very wide subject. That isn't just video games. That's card games. That's tabletop. That is... what did I forget? Board games. Can't forget board games.
And card games.
I think I said card. Did I?
Tabletop.
Oh,
board.
yeah. And video.
It's all in there.
Board games.
And video and computer and board.
Netflix.
Got them.
But yeah, you'll find articles about recent releases from Brisbane developers. You'll find all the latest news. You'll find out about events that are happening around town. There's just so many things in Brisbane that you have no idea about until you go looking for it, which is why I started this. But, even for example, there's a Street Fighter themed restaurant, burger bar.
That's in Morningside? No.
That's down the road from the studio.
Oh.
Yeah. It's in the Valley.
The more you know.
Super combo.
Super combo. It's
Yeah,
great.
go
It's
try it
delicious.
out. It's really good. But yeah, there's just so much stuff happening, and it's impossible to collect it all in one place. But that's what I'm trying to do.
That's cool. Can you tell us about interesting happenings that have been happening recently? Any interesting local news that is happening either this month or in previous months?
Well, the biggest thing I'm excited for is next weekend, all around Australia, actually, is the Battle of the Arcades. There's about 8 to 10 arcades around Brisbane that are getting together, and they're pretty much doing an Australian championship in about a dozen games. In Brisbane alone, if you head to Netherworld in the Valley, you go to One Up Arcade in Morningside, or if you go to Pincadia in Wollongabba, there's lots of arcade games to play.
I don't even know what Pincadia is. I want to know now.
I want to see it. I want to check it out. I love that arcade bars are coming back in vogue. They're so cool.
Bring
It's
it
very
back.
cool.
So the way that you got into printing a magazine specifically, you said that you wanted to the niche idea of having a physical product was really appealing to you. What skills did you have previously that led you into doing this, or was it all very, very ad hoc?
No. At the time, I was a graphic designer for a printing place doing real estate. And so during the day, I'd do this, and then on weekends, I would just go into work and then print Brisbane Byte. So I just took my skills of doing graphic design and printing and put it together with my passion for video games and trying to make something happen.
And it's happening.
Yeah.
Because it used to be quarterly.
Yes.
And I made the switch this year?
Just this year, it's now gone monthly.
Yes. How do you get enough content to fill a magazine every month?
Oh, sometimes it can be tricky.
I was going to say, because we have... This is something that I've experienced, and I'm going to out Zed Games a little bit, and New Game Plus, actually. Trying to get enough content to fill an hour for Zed Games or half an hour for New Game Plus on TV, it can be a real challenge sometimes. And in your instance, you're kind of restricting yourself. It's not restricting in that sense, but you're trying to pull from Brisbane-specific stuff, or Southeast Queensland, I guess. How?
There are definitely some slow months.
Yeah.
But it just, so far this year at least, it's happened naturally that there's at least one big game coming out each month or every other month.
Yeah.
In the months when a local game isn't coming out, there's always events happening around town. Places like Netherworld are really good about organising events, particularly far enough ahead of time that I can print the magazine. But there's just an incredible amount of things happening around town. And if you read Brisbane Byte, you'll find out all about them.
Fantastic.
Yes. So if you want more information about Brisbane Byte, there are social media channels available. Brisbane Byte at Twitter and Facebook, right, Scott?
And Instagram.
And you can also pick the magazine up at all of the nerd arcade bars around town.
If you can think of a place in Brisbane related to gaming, you'll probably find Brisbane Byte there.
You are listening to the Zed Games radio show here in Brisbane on 102.1 FM. Or on Zed Digital, or nationally on the Community Radio Network. I am the best host in the room, Razor, and with me, Jack
Is the other best host in the room.
the second best.
The
Jack,
other best?
Jack Dead Air Cringeanen.
Thank you.
Over here, just making it official.
Junior Dead Air reporter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, and we also have Evie and Adrian.
Hey.
And Scott is
Hey.
still here. From the Brisbane Byte. Check it out. Great
I've stuck
magazine.
around.
Now, these guys went along to the Madman Anime Festival that was on the weekend. Barrels of fun, from what I hear.
It was loads of fun.
Barrels
of fun.
Loads, barrels, same thing. Whatever
Okay.
modifier
I guess you
wanna
can put a
use.
load inside a barrel.
Yeah.
Don't let-
No. Don't do that.
It wasn't dirty until you laughed, Adrian.
It's all on you.
Children
Anyway.
behave.
Anyway, give us the quick rundown. Who was there? What happened? How much fun did you have?
Evie.
Oh, who was there? Lots of people.
Weebs.
Look, yes, you could say that. No, I had a great time. There was Attack on Titan, and they had Sword Art Online. They had some walkthroughs. They had virtual reality.
Your Name.
Yeah, I thought you were
That
my
movie.
name for a second.
They had Evie there.
Yeah.
Or Evie was there.
Well, Eevee Pokemon were there.
I
that's
was
for sure.
there.
Yeah, they had some incredible art. I mean, me and my partner, Natalie, it was her first time going to anything to do with anime or gaming related, and she went cosplay. She dressed up as Misa from Death Note, which was really cool.
Awesome.
And she loved it. She had a great time. We checked out some of the. I think there was one interview on that day, which was one of the voice actors for Attack on Titan does Mikasa Ackerman, and we got some sneak peeks into the next season. And they also had the Attack on Titan PS4 game.
And there was a
to play.
massive
Yeah.
Titan head next to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was, I didn't even, I walked in and out of the hall so many times, and I looked over my shoulder to the left, and I was like, oh my god, what is that? Oh, it's Attack on Titan 2, hey.
Yeah, I
Don't
saw
talk to me.
something similar in Japan when I was climbing Tokyo Sky. Well, not climbing, but when I was at the top of Tokyo Skytree, they had a big Attack on Titan.
You climbed
exhibit
it?
there. Sure. Yeah. No. Yeah. My fondest memory from Madman Anime Festival was attending on the Sunday and getting my splat on with Cringy for about 2 hours.
Oh my god.
Because
that was so long.
Nintendo was there and they brought Splatoon. So
You guys were there, and I didn't even see you.
because we were just in the corner playing Splatoon the whole time.
I was there all day, both days. It was great. I think the thing that I loved the most was the Brisbane video game market. Because there are multiple sort of like more retro gaming markets. There was the one, like we mentioned earlier, at Café de Soy. But there was one that was kind of short-lived for a little bit, and that was out at like Stone's Corner, run out of like a cafe, like it backed onto a cafe, and it was kind of like it was attached to someone's house. I don't know. It was a much more of a low-key affair. And I rocked up, and I was like, "Where are the demo discs? Give me those PS1 demo. I'm always hunting for them. I love them so much." And they haven't really been doing a whole lot of stuff, but they were like, yeah, welcome to Madman. So it was cool to see all those retro games.
Yeah, the market was a bit hit and miss. Like, there was a pamphlet for Amiibo that they were selling for a price. Like an advertising pamphlet. And I'm like, this is the kind of thing that I used to collect when I was younger and thought that everything was valuable when it came to video games.
No.
But, there were some goodies, like you said. So,
But there
I
weren't
had
any
a great
PS1 demo
time.
discs.
I just wanted to plug some of two of the artists that I found really, really good. There's Melvin Chan Art. You should check these guys out on Instagram, by the way. So Melvin Chan Art, he does his own sort of perspective on, I guess, like this creative world that he's developed in his mind and has put it on a paper, and it's so cool. It's sort of like really polished.
Melvin Chan Art.
Melvin Chan Art, he's awesome. And another artist that I saw there was Rose, was her name, and she was with Super Shark Studio, and she does sort of these pencil sketches of Pokemon and other fan art. So there was some Overwatch there as well, and some of her own personal adaptations of things. Like one of them online was Turtle Puppy, and it's really cute. It's literally like a turtle and a puppy fused together, and she's done it so smoothly, and it's very anatomically correct. Really beautiful stuff. So,
they're my two favorite animals fused together.
Turtle. Well,
I need to
there
see
is
it.
actually. I'll show you.
Yeah.
But yeah, check them out. Melvin Chan Art and Super Shark Studio. They were so cool. So cool.
Yeah, it was a neat little compact, convention. I mean, for reference, for those who have been to Brisbane events at the convention centre before, the Brisbane Convention and Exhibition Centre, like Supernova or Oz Comic Con, usually the whole precinct is
All 6
filled.
halls. All 4 halls.
All 4 halls. There you go. You've actually got numbers. Whereas this one is just 1 or 2.
It was 1.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
It's physically a quarter the size of a Supernova or Oz Comic Con.
yeah, but it's cute. It's nice.
I think that they managed a really, really good balance between keeping something that was relatively low key. Like if you go to something like a Battle Arena Melbourne, or I'm trying to think of other sort of mid-level stuff. But yeah, anything Supernova or Comic Con might not be as brash as a PAX Oz, which is just so much. There was enough stuff to hang out and do. It was a fun thing without feeling even remotely overwhelmed. Walking into a Supernova, all of those halls are booked out and all of those halls are packed typically. That was my experience at Gold Coast. And so it can be quite overwhelming in that kind of space. But it was small enough and it was dense enough. Not it wasn't dense, but there was enough people around to make it feel not intense, but also not empty. It was
exactly.
a good midpoint.
The passion was there. There were still plentiful cosplayers out in droves. And
Weebs.
yes, sure.
Everywhere. Got to call you all out.
What's the draw of the anime festival? Like, sorry, I'm just looking at Adrian's expression as he's looking at this.
I've just been shown the puppy turtle, and it's it's amazing.
cute.
That's my heart.
puppy turtle. That's a good
I
thing.
just gasped.
Yeah, I've been to
Put a hand on my
Supernova. I've been to EB Expo and PAX and all that. But what are you there for? Like, are you there to see the anime voice actors? Are you there to like buy stuff? Are you there for the cosplay?
I think it's like the stuff that's in that orbit, right? Like stuff that's loosely related. When you're into like art, that's kind of like weeby-ish, and then games that are weeby. Like it's just, I don't want to say it's like a Japan pop culture festival, but that's kind of what it was like.
From a more emotional perspective, I feel like I really enjoy these places. I feel like I enjoy these places because I guess you feel sort of people who tend to be into anime, especially in gaming, and that whole culture can be very isolating, like in a physical way, because you're spending a lot of time looking at a screen or so on, right?
Yeah.
And then you have these conventions or these places that you can go where you can see all these people dressing up as characters that they really, really love, and you can relate to them, and you can actually share in that moment. You can get photos with them. You can walk around and experience all the treasure troves of things, and
all the artists,
merchandise, and all these sorts of stuff that you really, really love, but you don't actually get to share in a like I said, in a physical way.
Yeah.
You're in this huge room
like
with
Tumblr
heaps
only
of
does
other
so
people.
much.
Yeah, it's like a real world Tumblr feed.
Can you imagine if there was is there a Tumblr con?
With less? We don't talk
Can you
about
imagine?
that. That's a
But
meme.
it was really cute. At one point, I have to share this experience because Natalie looked really, really good, and she had this full blonde wig on, and she looked really exactly like Misa from Death Note. And this girl comes up out of nowhere and just pulls out of her phone from her pocket, doesn't say anything, and just goes, "Misa," and just pulls the phone up right in front of her and takes a photo. She's like, "Oh, good. Oh, Evie, hold my stuff. Hold on, someone's taking a photo." I was like, "Yeah,
God.
they'll just do that because people are shy. They resort to these like hiding away in these creative worlds."
There's also a massive
And
sign out the front: cosplay is not consent.
Yeah, well,
Which kind of sets the tone.
yeah.
It is a pretty massive sign.
Yeah.
It was really fun, and I really enjoyed that. I like the energy, and I like the people there too, because everyone is just sort of like, I'm just here to enjoy the things that I love.
Yeah.
And they're really chill, which is a really cool space to be in.
It was a chill space.
Your overall take, Scott? Were you in and out? You were in and out.
No, I was in the area on the Saturday.
Yeah.
I was doing something else on the day. But it's always interesting to see the cosplayers and the general public mix.
Yeah.
Get some good stares
Get
on
all
the street.
that weird side eye.
Oh, yeah.
It's like wearing a blue shirt
Did
in
you
the
guys?
city
I can't
tonight.
remember what character it was, but it's from One Piece, and is like a full-grown man with like a massive diaper and like a baby
Yes!
pacifier, and he was walking out in the street with
Weird.
Subway, and it was
So-
the funniest thing.
Oh my god! Like put pants on. Like just put God.
That's not even my cosplay. That's just me.
And he was quite confident
He
too.
was.
He wasn't like at all ashamed.
He was like, "Hey, good outfit," and then he's like, "What anime festival?"
What are you talking about? What else?
He's like walking out in a diaper.
Just into sandwich.
This is normal.
I remember seeing him, and someone happened to ask him what anime he was from, and I was like, "Please say I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "Oh,
I'm from. I hope someone said like I'm from the Simpsons anime.
I just came
or
for the body
something.
pillows.
yeah."
And you just looked down and you're like, not. But it was good. I'm
fun.
looking forward to it next year because I feel like they can go bigger and better after that. So we'll
Was
see it
this
grow.
like one of the first ones?
Year two.
or- Year two. Oh, great.
Last year was way smaller. Like there was less going on because this time the hall they had about a quarter of the space was taken up by basically like a cinema. That was in a completely different part of the convention center last year, and so there was way more space, but way less people and way less booths. So it was like, it's kind of empty.
So it was more intimate this time.
Yeah, like it was a little bit sort of tighter, and there was more stuff to engage with. So hopefully they will pack at least an entire hall out with just stuff on the show floor, and then they can have all of the weebs holed up somewhere else. Really intense weebs.
I'm excited for next year.
Yeah.
I'm
It
doing
was
again.
a load in a barrel of fun.
You gonna go again, Adrian?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, there you go. That's an entire show, and that was Madman Anime Festival. It's great. Go and check out the artist that Evie was saying. It is Shark. What is it?
Super
Shark.
Shark
Studios and
Melvin Chan art.
Melvin Chan art. Go and check out Brisbane Byte at Brisbane Byte, Brisbane BYTE everywhere.
That's
Facebook,
correct.
Instagram, Twitter. And if you're living in
Everywhere.
Brisbane, check out New Game Plus tonight at 9:30 on c31.org.au.
That's a little self-indulgent. Jack.
Spam-malicious.
I didn't authorize that self-promotion.
It's community media, Ray.
All
I can
right.
get away with what I want. That has been an entire show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you. Well, we won't see you, but you'll hear us. Same time next week.
We've got E3 next week. It's going to be exciting. Super good.
Can't wait.
Yeah, tune in.
There's going to be a lot going on. See you soon.
See ya.
Bye.